Nice, piping hot cup of coffee to start out this year's newest content to add to the channel. And the cup of Doctor Who mug. If you watch slowly, carefully as my mug fills, the TARDIS, even though you can see it now, will light up white. I had this mug for quite a while. It's one of my favorites. Of course, see next to the coffee machine is a bluey mug that belongs to my stepson. And it looks like it is done, but it needs one more round because this coffee mug is a bit bigger than your average coffee mug. But anyway, welcome to the first episode of Professor Retro Vlog's Coffee Talk. See you in the next shot. Howdy, and welcome to the first episode of Life with Professor Retro. This episode is simply titled Coffee Talk. And the reason being is, if you saw at the beginning of this video, I made myself a cup of coffee. And this will happen. I make a cup of coffee or two every morning for myself. And sometimes later on if I want to stay awake later. So, I had filmed this once and realized I didn't like the way it is, so I'm refilming it again. These are going to be simple Life with Paul vlogs, or we'll call them Life with Professor Retro. They're not going to be unscripted, just maybe an outline in my head or on my phone or written down of what I want to talk about, and that's about it. They're not going to be anything fancy. I don't plan on doing anything fancy. They may be going around town, they may be me sitting at home just wanting to talk. They're going to come out at least once a week, so I hope you enjoy these behind the scenes vlogs. So without further ado, I'm going to go into my notes here. Did it save? It did not save. I've lost what I was working on. Oh, here we go. It did not. It did not save. I had notes. Anyway, I kind of have it in my head. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about today is the reason for these vlogs, and kind of one of the reasons is, and I'll show you a couple things. If you notice there's a ring on my finger, I'll talk about that, and a couple other things. The first thing I'm going to talk about today, and the first episode, is the reason for these vlogs. I had started doing these back during the pandemic, as something to keep myself busy and content to put out. Now that's pretty much well and over with, so to speak. It is still around, but not as bad as it was back then. I started doing my regular content, which is still going to be a thing. But these are just a way for you to see a slice of life of what my daily life is like when I'm not making content or not developing games, which I will talk about maybe in another video or this video. I'm a normal person just like you, me, and every other guy. I have pets, I have a wife, I have a stepson. I'm a normal, everyday human being. That just happens to like coffee, adult animated comedies like Bob's Burgers, and of course, Doctor Who. And retro gaming, because that's what my channel is all about. Anyway, so right before Christmas, one of my inspirations for creating the vlogs back then and now had passed away. If you know of him, his name was Adam the Woo. He had the Daily Woo, which were his daily vlogs. He vlogged like almost every day. Everything that was going on in his life, he vlogged it. And they were kind of slice of life as he sees it type of vlogs. And I like those type of vlogs. Years ago, I was never a fan of vlogs. I thought vlogs were boring and dull because it's just, someone talking. But you get people that will go out, and there are types of vlogs. There's travel vlogs and food vlogs and, these types of vlogs and whatnot. So everyone's taste is different. So anyway, I'm reviving these because I want to revive some vlogs. They may be a second channel with these, or this may be a part of the regular channel. This one will be up on the regular channel. Let's see. Reasons to move. A reason we did move. I started doing Paul vlogs back when I was in Racine, Wisconsin. No itches. But we had just 3 years ago moved to my parents' house here in the wonderful city of Brookfield, Wisconsin. Now, the reason for that is because in, I have to say, 2023, in July of 2023, actually, we had lost a key member of my wife's family, which was her mother. We were living with her mother, taking care of her mother, also taking care of my stepson, which was, now is my stepson, but I considered him my stepson when I was still dating, when I was engaged to his wife, my wife, as well. He's disabled, we'll say, but, not too disabled. But mainly we were taking care of her mom. Her mom had passed away suddenly, and I had called my parents and had asked them, what do I do? And my parents said, move from where you are and move in with us. So that's what we did. And here we are. A lot has happened since then. First off, my dad had passed away right after I got married. That was about, 2 years ago? At the end of August, 2 years ago. Just recently in November, my mom had moved to Florida, which leaves me, my wife, and my stepson living in my parents' house. My mom takes care of the basic financials of this place, keeping up on the bills, everything. But as for upkeep, that is strictly now our responsibility. We now take care of this place. Let's see. Let's talk about some other life's goings on. As you can see, as I mentioned, I do have a ring. I did get married in August 2 years ago. I think it was August 12th or 16th. I'm not sure. Don't take it back to my wife. She'll grief about it. Of course, I no longer have the old Galaxy Watch I used to have for years. I actually now have a new Galaxy Watch because my one Galaxy Watch, it took a dump. I have a new phone because this is a story. I'll give it short and brief, which will come with a warning at the end of this. We were shopping at the local Walmart, like we always do, and we were wandering on the electronics section. And the sales guy comes up to us, and we've been trying to convince my stepson to get a new phone. He says his current phone works fine, but it has some issues, and he complains about it once in a while, so we want to end that complaining process. Another sip of coffee. Anyway, so he tricked us into buying a phone there, which was this crappy-ass downgrade phone, by giving us a bunch of lies. And if we would have listened to my stepson, we would have gotten where it is. At the time, I had a Galaxy S23 or 22 Plus that I wasn't planning on getting rid of or upgrading because it was, one, paid off, and two, it was still working, a nice working phone. Well, my stepson decides to keep his current phone, and I decide to take the phone we got from Walmart. One of the games I like to play on my phone is a game called Diablo Immortal. It's an MMORPG. I love those types of games, and it's kind of in the same lines as my favorite series of games, which is Diablo. I was playing it on the phone that we got from Walmart, and it completely froze my phone completely. I mean, the only thing we could do was turn it off, and that was it. It completely froze. And it was at that point that we drove to the local T-Mobile store here in Brookfield, which was about 5 minutes from the house, and we talked to them. And, well, we got it rebooted. The guy was trying to tell us a different phone, and I was on the phone I had at the time. I was looking up everything, and I said, no. He then showed us this phone. This is a Galaxy S25 FE, standing for Fan Edition. And I looked it up, and I said, yeah, that's a good phone. It has good reviews. It has a good memory. It has a good working chip in it. And I said, I'll take it. And here we are. It works fine for what I needed to do. I love this phone. I mean, I did love my X22, but for the way it happened, it is. So there's that. The new hat, of course, it was a birthday gift from my aunt. I'm a big fan of King of the Hill, and if you are a fan of the show or know of the show, the symbol on top is a symbol for the fictional business within the show known as Strickland Propane. Let's see. Content. Yes. There will be these, either on a separate channel or both on a separate channel and on the main channel. So if you only want to see the vlogs, you can go to the separate channel. If you want to continue with both the content, they will be both on this channel. That's my decision on this. Let's see. Other changes in life. Well, we have lost 3 animals that we came here with. We came here with a Chihuahua by the name of Layla, black and white spotted Tweenie by the name of Emma, and 4 cats. Let me see. 4 cats. 4 cats. A tortoise shell by the name of Allspice, a black cat by the name of Diablo, and 2 stripedy cats, one named Baby and one named Pete. Oh, 5. Actually, we had 5, and we had a kitten by the name of Looney. Forgot about him. Just this past, I'd say April, May, March-ish, we had 3 tragedies strike within a week of each other. First off, we had a black cat by the name of Diablo. Diablo had a stroke and had passed away, so we had to deal with that. Within a couple of days later, our Chihuahua by the name of Layla had the same thing, had passed away. The hardest one of all was the third one, and that was my wife's beloved chubby spotted Tweenie dog by the name of Emma. My wife is very fond of the breed of Tweenies, so I'll get into more of that in a second. But Emma had a bad paw, and Emma's health, she had diabetes, and because of her weight, there was no way to save the paw and keep her alive, so we had to put her down. That's all I'm going to say about that. We had then, a couple months later, after my wife was talking to someone on Facebook who had Tweenie puppies for sale in Texas, had taken a trip out to San Antonio, Texas. We drove to San Antonio, Texas, picked up a tiny itty-bitty brown puppy that was a Tweenie, and thus is our little puppy Lucy, who's no longer a little puppy. She's a big puppy. She's about yay long, yay tall. Still a baby, but still an older baby, a puppy. She's almost a year old now. Another sip of coffee. As you can tell, I like my coffee. This is my second cup. I had one earlier this morning. So, anyway, content-wise, Another reason for these vlogs is content update. Another place you will see this, and I urge you if you want to. These are actually going to be also going up as updates on my Patreon. Link will be in the description of this video. Anyway, I am still going to be doing the regular content you've been seeing on this channel. I will also be doing these vlogs as well, and I might be doing something extra as well. I'm not sure on that. Merch wise, I may put out another merch run. I've had one during the old Sad Reality days of the start of the channel. I had one come out. I'm filming this from my laptop, so sorry about this. I had one come out at the start of the retro gaming content of the channel. I may put out another one. I am not sure. I guess let's end on a few silly things, because I like silly things. We'll call these finishing thoughts. 1. Finishing thought number 1. Puppies are a blessing and a curse. They are fun to have around when you're having a bad day, but they are ruthless when they are playing. Our puppy, that I just told you about, her name is actually Lucy. Lucy likes to do what we call attack Papa, I being Papa. She will bite. Now, when we first got her, her teeth were razor sharp. Her teeth have since dulled over the past couple months, but she has a hard bite. And we will play. And if she will get serious, she will growl, she will bark, she will get upset when she plays. And she will bite hard. Sometimes she will even bite the flab on my arms or on my shirt. Looney, when we first got him, was a tiny kitten. Now he's a fat thing. My stepson, his name is Jimmy. Check out his channel. It's Jimmy the Raging Gamer. I won't tell you his content unless you like music. He does some music. He plays games nonstop on his Xbox, on his phone, and on his brand new tablet. When he's not sleeping. We no longer have cable. We got something called a VC box that allows us to have cable without having to pay for cable. Let's just leave it at that. Let's see, more silly things. Oh, the car. Beware of people called Kia boys. They will steal your Kias and your Hyundais. Why do I say this? Because it happened to me. Cats. I talked about Looney. I mentioned there are 4 cats. Cats are also a blessing and a curse. They play when they're younger, they cuddle when they're older, but they're still a joy to have around in the house. If you're traveling during Thanksgiving, the holiday, don't try to find a sit-down restaurant on Thanksgiving on your way home. Don't try to find an open fast food restaurant out towards Florida and that area on Thanksgiving Day as well. I speak from experience. It does not happen. I think let's end with some retro game stuff just to be on the safe side. I may put out some silly things in the form of shorts. I've done this before, and I'll probably do it again because it's fun. What would other video game characters think if they fell into the holes in the old Atari ET games? I wonder, what does a bug think before it hits your window? I'm sorry. I'm trying to be funny. And my jokes are kind of dad jokes. I am a stepdad, so they are dad jokes. And sometimes they're kind of out of left field. They're kind of like thoughts, or shower thoughts, if you will. You know, the old adage is, why do they call apartments when they're so close together? Let's see. Driving a van is fun, yet tedious. Because, one, I don't have a backup camera no more. So I have to do the old-fashioned way. And two, I have to make sure there's room for me to back up safely without backing up into another car behind me in the parking lot. I think that's all for this episode. It's about almost 20 minutes long, so I'm going to end it with this. I'm going to end it with a quote from an old cartoon by the name of The Amazing World of Gumball. One of the characters on there said one of my favorite quotes that's kind of funny. When life gives you lemons, you would cut those lemons open and squeeze lemon juice in life's eyes and then make it run. Till then, peace out, stay frosty, and see you in the next one.